My top 10 for Division I women's tennis goes as follows. And it might surprise you on who's number one. It's only based on body of work. And that's North Carolina. But after that, you can make the argument they could move down. But when you look at the computer rankings, they have too many points ahead. Georgia at 2 because they beat A&M. I mean, Texas A&M 3. You can make the argument NC State should be even higher than 4. I could. You could make the argument, and I could see it because they beat North Carolina. They should be ahead of A&M, possibly, or even Georgia. Michigan 5, Duke 6, Stanford 7, Pepperdine 8, Texas 9. They've won the Big 12. And Ohio State 10. Teams outside looking at it like Virginia, Oklahoma, Iowa State, and Tennessee and Miami, Florida. But I'm going to go over the 1 through 25 as well as the 26 through 40. The 1 through 25 goes as follows, according to computer rankings, which is the last set of them until next week. Which I'm not going to go over that next week, to be honest, because I'm going to just go straight to NCAA tournament from here on out. I mean, North Carolina, Texas A&M, Georgia, NC State, Michigan, Duke, Pepperdine, Stanford, Texas, Ohio State, Virginia, Iowa State, Oklahoma, Miami, Florida, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia Tech, Oklahoma State, Auburn, UCLA, Wisconsin, Arizona State, Washington, Florida State, Kansas. That consists of the 1 through 25. But 26 through 40 goes as follows: Cal, Notre Dame, USC as the University of Southern California, Wake Forest, San Diego, Vanderbilt, SMU, who won the American. After they took that loss to Baylor, they haven't lost since. I mean, Old Dominion, South Carolina, Florida National University, Illinois, Texas Tech, UCF, Clemson, and Charlotte. That's the 1 through 40. Right there, and I'm going to go over the bubble teams now. That are really on that cut line. The cut line would be at number 42 right now. And it goes as follows: LSU, Baylor, Charlotte, and Arkansas. Charlotte is still in despite not winning their conference tournament. Because they did lose to Rice. I believe they did. But I'm going to double check that right now. Yep, they lost 4-2 to Rice. So that's kind of like that's the last 4 in, and I'm not going to include like Florida National University. They're the Conference USA winner. UCF is not really in danger. Illinois is not in danger. Old Dominion, San Diego, but that's just to name 4 other teams that are kind of like the next 4 in. I meant the last 4 buys, because I'm not going to include conference winners, tournament winners. But the first 4 out: Clemson, Syracuse, Iowa, TCU. Obviously, the other teams would, the following 4 out would be Utah, Kentucky, Purdue, Boston College. I'm not including Denver on the list because they won their conference tournament, and even though based on rankings they're not in, they won the conference. They're in. I mean, but Clemson and Syracuse and TCU, they're done for. I'm just calling the way it is because their conference tournaments are done. I mean, they played last week. But Iowa could technically, though Utah is right there too in a bubble mix too, and Purdue. I mean, because of the Big Ten and the Pac-12, that's the conference tournaments you got to keep an eye on here, because if Iowa were to get on a run, they would be in. Same thing goes for Utah and Purdue. And if you're those bubble teams that are definitely in right now, and the cut line would be at 42, you need to hope they lose right away, or don't get enough points just to get in. I mean, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens here. And the killer is for Iowa is that they're going to have to take on I know I did a video on this. It's just I can't memorize every tournament. Here I can't. Yeah, Iowa's gonna. They should beat Indiana. That's not enough points to get in. They have to probably take on Illinois. But obviously, if they lose to Indiana, they're done. And Purdue, they play Nebraska. It's a 7 versus 10 matchup in the first day. But if they were to lose, they're definitely out. But the problem for them is, even if they win that match, you got to play 2-seed Ohio State. That's not going to be easy. Because I think Ohio State could very well win every match. And maybe up to that Michigan match. I don't know. I mean, that's the truth. Now for the Pac-12 standpoint on the women, the killer would be for Utah is that they have to play Arizona, and even if they win that match, you're going to face Stanford, who is going to fight for a top 8 seed. Good luck with that. Good luck. I mean, it's the truth. And Arizona would not be in right now. And Oregon would not be in. So if you're these bubble teams that are definitely in, like that are in the field currently, and you're not playing any conference tournaments or anything, you cannot have bid stealers. Obviously, you can't. The same thing goes for teams going on the big run just to get enough points just to even catch up with you. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, the good news is for those teams like Utah and Arizona, the loser in that match automatically out. And even if they win, they have to play Stanford. They're not probably not going to win. Same thing goes for Oregon. Even if they beat Colorado, they play Cal, and Cal's been playing better as of recently. So, and of course these conference tournaments are important too for these teams that are still playing, especially when they could be a top 16 seed. I mean, just to name some examples. Like UCLA, they go on a run and beat Stanford. But even if they beat Stanford, I don't know if they're going to be a top 16 seed. I mean, in the Big Ten, that's the closest one in the Pac-12 to do it. Arizona State could technically do it, but they would have to go on an immense run. But the problem for them is they're not going to get enough points possibly. And you have to hope Stanford goes all the way to the championship and then you beat them. I don't know. And not only that, does Ohio State going to get enough points to be a top 16? I mean a top 8 seed. They're definitely going to be in the top 16 as long as they don't lose right away. Granted. I mean, will they be close enough to do it? I don't know. I mean, and Stanford, like I said, has to make sure they keep that top 8 seed. And Pepperdine as well with the West Coast Conference. They have to win their conference tournament just to make sure they could be a top 8 seed. So because the points are really, really close between Pepperdine, Stanford, Texas, and Ohio State right now. Just to be a top 8 seed. I mean, anyways, if you like this content here, like and subscribe, and see you guys later. 5 subscribers, we're on the road to it. Let's go.